fishing the other day. I was running my trolling motor and I ran into, I guess, a cypress knee, and it did a little damage. As you can see, it pulled the mounting bolts out of the boat itself. So I did some research on the internet and couldn't really come up with much on how to fix this on these boats. So hopefully I can fix it. Okay, the first thing I need to figure out is what kind of damage it's done. Take the cover off with 6 screws, 3 on each side. It'll allow you to get to all your actual mounting bolts, which I took out. There are these long bolts right here. Alright, once you get those bolts out, you can take the trolling motor off, and as I suspected, it has basically stripped out what the bolts are actually supposed to mount into. All 3, well, 3 of the 4. I still have 1 hanging on. You can see how it's actually pulled the whole mounting bracket or little nut these boats are made with out of the hole. And it looks like inside the hole you can see there's some wood. Looks like maybe 3/4 of an inch down. So I'm gonna have to figure something out. I stopped by Lowe's on the way home and I picked up these toggle bolts, and they're not like regular style toggle bolts. These are, I think they're called slip toggle bolts. Instead of having the spring, these just slip to one side, which I think will, I'm hoping it's going to work. So it'll slip down into the hole, and then once you get it down in the hole, it'll spread out and hold itself, and then you can, this thing pushes down and you can screw the bolt in. So hopefully by doing this, it'll fix what I got going on. Okay, so we're going to try to slip this one in here, push it all the way, and pull it out until it's flush, and then this thing slides down until it's tight, kind of like a zip tie. And these are supposed to snap off just like that. It's easy enough. Okay, we got the toggle bolts in, all 3 of them. I'm gonna save this one. This is the factory one. I mean, it's a little worn, but it still seems very tight. So hopefully it'll work for me. And we don't want to mount this trolling motor right directly on the metal. We want to have a little cushion, so I bought these rubber washers. I'm gonna stack them 2 high right here, and probably add a fender washer too to the bottom of it, just to give it a little more stoutness. And then it'll be time to bolt it up and see if it works. All right, this is what it looks like before I put the trolling motor back on. Put a fender washer and then stack 2 of the rubber washers on top. Now I'm gonna have to ease the trolling motor back down, and hopefully not mess anything up where I got it, and bolt it up. Okay, I got all the bolts back in, all of them tightened up pretty good. Seemed like it's not the best looking thing in the world, but I think the cover will hide most of that. So the only thing we got left to do is test it out, make sure everything works fine. Everything seems to be pretty stout. It's holding up good. It's not moving around very much. Everything seems pretty rigid. I mean, it's not 100%, but of course you don't want it to be. That way when you hit stuff, it doesn't really tear anything up. But it looks like this is going to work pretty good. Alright, so here we are with the finished product. Got the cover back on, and everything seems to be just fine. I mean, it's pretty stout. Everything seems really sturdy. Actually, probably more sturdy now than it was before it broke. I'm not saying this is the best way to do it, This is the way that I put together real quick. It was pretty cost effective. I mean, I think everything I got from Lowe's, it was 12 bucks for everything maybe. It's not too bad. Probably a whole lot cheaper than taking it to Bass Pro Shops and letting them fix it. But hopefully this maybe, if nothing else, will give you an idea of how to fix yours. Like I said, I did some searching on the internet and couldn't find anything, so there it is.